Okay, hey everyone, this is the most hated dork. Um, I'm just making this stream. Well, it's gonna be recorded mostly. It's not really. Hmm, well, whatever. Anyways, I'm making this tutorial for people that want to learn how to either drift or fly backwards using PSM stunts on any of the platforms. I'm gonna be using Xbox today, but I'm also on PC. Um, but I just figured that, being on Xbox, I could show people on console that they can also do it. So, see, look, Xbox Store. You don't get that on PC. Without further to do, actually, okay, now let's pick an easy plane everybody has and everybody can use. Yeah, I could probably do it with this. Okay, so here's the parts that I used for my last stunt. But just to show you, you don't need parts. Sorry if I'm a little bit less talkative today. I'm just a bit tired from my job. But I had some people ask me on my YouTube channel about like how to do this. That didn't include a tutorial with some of the stunts that I put out. So I figured that, I would try to help them out. So, first lesson, um, drifting. Pick something nice and easy to fly under or around, or even you can just do it, uh, you know, open sky if you want. But so get a speed that you like. 300 is a good speed for me. And then yaw and post off. Add some gas and just keep post off. It's as easy as that. At least for going in a straight line. If you want to turn, add a bit more angle. You see how I delayed coming back on? That's how you get your plane to turn. I didn't add enough gas. That's why I stopped post on. If you are in the stall warning, oh sorry. But if you are in the stall warning when you are trying to chain, it's just gonna not work out. I'm on stock control, so some of my buttons are different than usual. That's a good amount of angle right there. See, I'm adding a little bit of angle. Now since I can't see where the heck I'm going.
Caution, pull up. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
I changed my camera. I clicked the right stick 3 times. Adding a little bit of angle to move the flight marker over here. And I'm just going to stop adding angle. Well, actually I'm going to keep adding angle because I don't want to hit that mountain. So I'm going to delay a little bit later. Get my turn a bit tighter. We'll go with that. Oh. Now, if I want to go straight, I'm not going to add as much angle. Now that I've passed the buildings, I'm going to add more angle. Use a little bit of roll there to straighten myself out. And I might as well change views again. I almost lost it there. You see, I went too slow. Right in that stall warning.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
Well, I lost it. Oh well. Anyways, so that's how you do a drift, and you turn a drift.
Caution. Stall warning. Caution.
Do something a little bit more, I guess, involved, higher level or whatever. Let's drift the tunnel. So you just gotta really be consistent with your PSM chains. I'd say that's the biggest thing. And finding the speed range that each plane likes. Because each plane likes a different range of speed, actually. I mean, I can tell you this or that, but it might not work for what you're trying. I'm gonna change views there because I couldn't see. You see how I'm not, like, I guess, spamming post stalls? And we're done. Oh, I have to yaw a little bit to the left. I put a little bit too much. And we're done. It's that easy. Oh. The most important things to consider, I think, are how much your nose is pointed up or down, how rolled you are, how much angle you are pulling with your plane relative to the flight marker. If I wanted to go up a little bit and start raising my nose. I'm going to change views. Oh, a little too low. Anyways, the last thing would probably be your speed range. The key points to pay attention to. Now, if you're having problems, try to sit down and analyze what you're having problems with and what's causing your problems. So, because I've been stalling out from going too slow, I need to be a little bit more aggressive with the gas. Start at a higher speed, like that. I'm going to aim for 400 instead of 300. But if I was having trouble keeping my post stalls chained because I was going too fast, I would aim for a little bit lower of a speed. Sometimes you gotta aim for a very specific speed and it's kind of annoying. Like, some planes like really narrow speed ranges. The F-35 is pretty forgiving. Okay, so that's some of the drifting basics. Of course, there's other ways to drift. You could do it this way. Instead of using yaw, Try that one more time.
Caution.
I usually do
Pull
those
up.
kind of moves when I'm in a sequence and I need to pull angle. But let's see here. Add a little bit of yaw.
Caution. Pull up.
There it is.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Caution.
See, you can
Pull
use
up.
pitch and roll to do it too.
Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall
It's just,
warning.
I don't know.
Pull up.
It's not how I like to do it. Sometimes you need to be able to do it though, like if you're in a long chain on something. I find I do it more often flying backwards. So speaking of which, flying backwards, there's a couple ways to do it. Let's start with the way that I learned first, which is actually the harder way to do it.
Caution.
I don't know, I was just better at this way at first. Now I'm better at the other way. This way is harder for sure. But so people who were asking about the backwards tunnel clip that I put, this is for you. So you kind of want to be consistent with your speed. You want to make sure that your nose is pointed up. You notice when I get slow, the flight marker starts dropping. Pulling my nose
Stall
up.
warning.
Oh,
Stall
also,
warning. Caution. Stall warning.
if I started
Caution. Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning.
looking directly at what I wanted to go, I wouldn't have made it. I didn't make it anyways, but you notice that I had a significant variance from where I started to where I ended.
Caution. Pull up.
When you get more experience doing those, you'll get a better idea of where the flight marker will move to. It also depends on how consistently you chained, what speed you were going, stuff like that.
Stall warning.
How much yaw you used, how much you delayed between the postalls. There's a lot of factors to this.
Stall warning.
So I'm gonna end up in the middle probably. Maybe not. I went too slow. I mean, you can do this with any plane. Now, you guys saw me do it with the CFA. The CFA has a reputation for being hard to use, but it's not so bad. I think in some ways it can be easier than the F-35. The F-35 is pretty easy to use. The hardest? I don't like using the Raven because it's big. Or the XFA, same reason.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
Too slow. Okay, so the problem I had there, I think, I was full on the gas, but I couldn't maintain enough speed, so I think I entered going too slow. So we'll go a little bit longer between the chains, put our nose up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more speed was all we needed.
Stall warning.
A roll. Oh, come on, that was it. I think there, I might have just had bad timing rechaining. The timing when you're going backwards changes. So that's another thing. It's like I could tell you what I'm doing, but it's going to change for each plane, each build, and each technique you decide to use. Like, I think I might have gone too slow into this. to roll a little bit.
Stall warning.
You see, you don't think that that little bit of speed at the start makes a difference until you're going like backwards and sideways.
Caution. Caution. Pull up.
And then it starts making a big difference because you haven't, you're not in the right speed range for the afterburner. I still might have gone too slow right there, but we'll see. I think I dropped my nose too low. I'll be lucky to make this.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning. Caution. Caution.
Yeah,
Pull up.
I'm not making that. Let's just get out of it.
Caution. Pull up.
Alright, we'll just try it again. See, that's another big part of doing these stunts.
Pull up.
They take forever sometimes, it seems.
Caution.
So if you don't do it first try, don't be so discouraged, okay? Keep at it, and you'll get it. Probably. There's some stunts that I'm still working on. I gotta go faster. Notice, it doesn't matter that I'm going over the postal speed so much. See that?
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Caution.
But now we are flying backwards. This is the hard way to fly backwards, in my opinion.
Stall warning.
Using yaw to go completely around, fly backwards. Okay, so now that that's the hard way out of the way, what's the easy
Stall
way?
warning.
Well, I'll show you. The easy way is this way. You pitch up,
Stall
do a
warning.
couple cancels.
Caution. Stall warning.
Ooh, I say easy way, but then I did that.
Stall warning. Caution.
Embarrassing. Get a little bit more speed.
Stall warning.
Yeah, I'm going too slow. You see my speed when I'm crashing? It's like 200.
Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
Okay, maybe with a stock one it's pretty hard. I'm gonna grab another hard plane after this just to show you guys a plane that everybody else thinks is hard. It's not so bad though, but I'll grab it and show you guys some stuff. But anyways, so the flying backwards this way, you're basically gonna pitch up, roll over, and that's it. You're going to pitch completely 180 degrees, and then you're going to roll over completely 180 degrees.
Stall warning.
Okay, I see my problem. I'm pitching too much. I'm not chaining fast enough. I'm not pitching enough, I guess. I'm pitching too much and canceling the postal. You don't want to pitch too much because it kind of like ends the postal. See if I can show you guys that real quick.
Stall warning. Caution.
See?
Pull up.
That's what I mean. So instead of making it like one move or two moves like this, see if I can do it.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
Oh, that's something I never noticed before. I learned something today.
Pull up.
So I guess if you fire a missile and hold the change camera button when you're in a postal and your plane is like significantly away from the flight marker, your camera angle will revert back to your plane, just like if you use the change camera thing. That's interesting. But anyway, so I like to use about 3 PSMs instead of 2.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
See, there's the one,
Stall warning.
and I roll. A little too hesitant on the gas. But if you notice, my plane it goes like up a little bit, like the tiniest bit at the start, stops, and then I do another post stall. That's my first cancel. Right here. That's my first cancel. To cancel, you just press up. And now I need to raise the flight marker, so we raise our nose. That's how this works. If your flight marker is too low, you raise the nose. If it's too high, you lower the nose. See that? We barely made it, didn't we? But we made it. Told you it was the easier way.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Pull up.
So, the fundamental skills with either of these are canceling a post stall, like that, being able to control your speed in the post stall, chain post stall. But those are like probably the 3 basic things. Other than that, it's just like orientation, setting up, and execution.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution.
So you can take unlimited post stalls to set up. It's harder to do with no engine parts, but it's still possible. So if you guys want my build that I used in this video, I mean, it's just literally an F-35 with no parts, so.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
See, even though I'm pretty good at this stuff, I still have trouble sometimes.
Caution. Pull up. Caution.
Although I am out on the road all week, so I'm not practicing all the time anymore. That's probably why I'm bad.
Stall warning.
No.
Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Warning. Caution.
Whatever. So I guess the important advice that I would have is to practice. As you can see, even if you're good, if you don't practice, you get rusty. Started like 470. See, I have to yaw to... My nose kind of got a little funky there. I'm gonna have to yaw to straighten out too, right here. Come on, I was going too slow.
Caution. Pull up.
Even though I'm starting at the max range, I'm having some problems with going slow. So that's kind of what no engine parts is.
Stall warning.
There we go.
Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
Okay.
Stall warning. Caution. Pull
We
up.
exit with a cancel, and we'll try this real quick.
Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning. Caution. Caution. Caution.
Guess that way is harder. I think the pitch way is harder to initiate, but once you get going, it's pretty easy to control. Whereas this way is easier to initiate, but once you get going, it's kind of harder to control. I think too you can make up your mistakes the pitch way better, or easier, I should say, not better.
Stall warning.
I'm going slow, and I'm trying to go as fast as I can right
Stall
now.
warning. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
I was on full burner.
Caution.
Maybe I need to
Caution.
start a little
Caution.
bit faster.
Caution. Pull up.
See, if you're having problems going slow, go faster, and if you're having problems going too fast, go slower. I am coming off the throttle a tiny bit on this. Just a tiny bit. I don't really think I need to.
Caution. Caution.
Yeah, I don't need to. As you can see, it's a little bit harder too to gauge the distance that you need to go backwards. Okay. I should be going properly backwards. Yep. Put a little up in there so I don't crash. Or up in there. There we go. See, my altitude is now rising, and it wasn't before. A little left. Ah, man, whatever. Okay, so that was like a basic lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll probably answer you directly. Maybe I'll make a video explaining what you asked about. Sorry, I'm still a bit tired. Ooh, this one everyone says is bad. Yeah, we'll go with that. Why not? Maybe I knew what I was doing the last time I set this up. I don't really think the parts matter all that much, because when you add an advantage, you also gain a disadvantage. Like, let's say you add engine parts. Well, yeah, now it's easier to stay out of the stall speed, but now it's easier to overspeed. You know, you gotta think about that kind of stuff. Okay, you added yaw parts. Now you can pull more angle. but you find yourself hitting the inside wall doing the anchorhead tunnel drift. Maybe you need to pull that angle with better timing, I guess. Alright. I've never tried this in this, so we'll see how it goes. Actually, wait, yeah, I did, but a long time ago. I've gotten a lot better since then. The heavy engine is much better. Engine and yaw. Way easier, look at that. Oh well. As you can see, with a full Colbit plane, or the Cobra plane, it's really, you know, not too different. I had an easier time, but I would attribute that to the parts rather than the plane itself. Because, I mean, nobody says that the SU-47 is an easy plane to use. There's nobody that I know of. But I don't think it's so bad. I mean, at least it's small. Why'd I put my nose up? Mental lapse.
Caution, pull up. Caution, pull up. Stall warning.
See, sometimes stuff like that happens.
Stall warning. Caution, pull up. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution, pull up. Caution.
Oversped.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning.
I should be far enough.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Pull
Oh.
up. Caution.
Oh, I guess
pull
there
up.
is another way to fly backwards, but 1 second. Do this.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution.
You hear it going stall warning before I crash, that's because I'm going too slow. So if you're hearing stall warning before you crash, oh, oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that one.
Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning.
I think the big difference, well, at least for me, is that because full Colbit craft rotate more, it's easier to over-rotate.
Caution. Stall warning.
That was weird.
Caution. Pull up. Stall
Maybe I should
warning.
use cancels instead of chains. That could be the key here.
Stall warning.
Yep.
Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning.
See, sometimes adjusting your
Caution.
approach
Caution.
can be what you need to do. I say that, but then, whatever.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. 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 Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
So, before I did a lot of the more sighting stunts that I have on my channel,
Stall
I did
warning.
boring stuff like this.
Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Stall warning. Caution. Pull up.
So if you're having problems doing a
warning.
hard stunt that I've put up, try something easier. Work your way up.
Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
It's a little difficult. I think I'm probably not giving enough gas because I keep stalling out.
Caution.
Let's see if I can correct my mistake.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
Nope. See, I hesitated to roll back over there. I didn't like my orientation. As you can see, this stuff is not easy. Like, it is, but it's not.
Caution.
I mean, I'm pretty good at this, so like the thing, but yeah, I still even have trouble with this stuff. So don't get discouraged if you do. Oh, come on.
Caution.
See, I'm PSMing right there, but the flight marker isn't sticking. So what I think is I need to cancel it.
Stall warning.
Like that.
Stall warning.
I don't like where the flight marker is, so I'm going to hold this position for a little bit before I roll over.
Stall warning.
See, just like that.
Caution. Caution. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Caution.
See, it's easy and it's not. I was just able to do it, but it took me a lot of tries. Wasn't able to do it perfect, but good enough. Makes me appreciate the stuff that I did before. Maybe I should do a series with one plane.
Stall warning.
Focus on stunts doing one plane. That
Caution.
might make me
Pull
better
up. Stall warning.
for each
Caution.
plane.
Stall warning. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Stall warning.
This is only easy because I've done it with literally every plane.
Caution. Pull up. Stall warning.
Well, every plane that could do it.
Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning. Caution. Pull up.
No, I say that and then crash. Come on. I would say the biggest point is to practice, but I guess a lot of you might not know what to practice. It might be intimidating. You don't know what to do. Well, find something. Or even just here. See this big open sky here? Use this.
Stall warning.
See, now you get a whole bunch of tries.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
Now it's easy. See? You don't have to worry about no altitude, anything.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
So, if you're starting off, I recommend practicing in the open sky first, simply because you get more tries. Then, just try the open ground, like this. Pick an altitude that's somewhat low, like 40. 40 is good altitude. Just start drifting, working on your turns. Make a note of something and try to go around it.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
Try to go around tight things, try to go around long things. Try to make all sorts of turns. Because the more kinds of turns that you make, the more kind of turns that you'll have, right?
Stall warning. Stall
Should I go
warning.
through that little
Stall
thing up
warning.
there? No, I should. Huh.
Caution.
Go through this one.
Caution. Pull up.
So, if you can start drifting, I mean, I think flying backwards, you can do that too if you can drift. At 60, that's a good help.
Caution. Stall warning.
Ooh, maybe it's not. It gave me enough space, I guess, but...
Stall warning.
Do you notice how much my altitude increased? No, it's decreasing rapidly.
Stall warning.
So paying attention to those fundamentals when you're practicing will pay extreme dividends.
Caution.
If you can start controlling
Caution.
how high and low you can go, well, you'll be able to do pretty much everything. Once you've learned how to drift like this, and you can pull
Stall
angle,
warning. Stall
start
warning.
working on
Stall
being able to
warning.
control
Caution.
your level.
Pull up. Caution. Stall
Oh no.
warning.
guess the easiest one was the hardest one of all.
Caution, pull up. Caution. Caution. Caution, pull up.
But
Stall
when
warning.
you're starting off,
Caution.
I think controlling your level is probably the thing that most people struggled with. Well, speed and level, and they're interrelated. So there's a valuable tip for you. If your nose is pointed down, you gain speed faster. You use it harder. If your nose is pointed up, the exact opposite. I had to put a little bit of roll there. I didn't have to. Start pulling more angle again. Switch my view. Ooh, slow down. And tap it, I don't care. Keep going. You know what?
Caution, pull up. Caution. Caution.
Ow.
Caution, pull up. Caution.
Man, that was a pretty good drift too, wasn't it? I was scraping the ground. The ground.
Caution.
For something like this, you might want to fly through it, see what altitude that you need, and then you know what altitude you can't exceed. Uh-oh, uh-oh. What do you guys think my problem is? I think I'm pulling too much angle and that my speeds aren't consistent enough. So this time, because last time I kind of focused on my altitude, this time I'll focus on my speed. I would say my angle too, but I want to pull a better angle to make it look cooler. So I'm just going to focus on my speed. I also kind of don't want to go too slow, because that also be going faster than slower, I think. They're both harder in different
Stall
ways,
warning.
I'd say.
Stall warning. Caution, pull up. Caution, pull up. Stall warning. Caution, pull up. Caution, pull up. Stall warning. Caution, caution.
Oh, come on.
Caution.
So the inputs while you're chaining make a difference. Slow you down, speed you up, but they make a difference. So you gotta pay attention to your inputs in between your chain.
Caution, pull up. Caution, caution. Stall warning. Caution, pull up. Caution, pull up. Caution, pull up. Caution, pull up. Caution, pull up.
See, I'm using lengthier cancels to push me towards the wall, and I hold my post stall to push me away from the wall. You see that?
Caution. Caution, pull up. Caution,
So I hold my post stall to push myself towards the outside wall.
caution, pull up.
cancel my post stall to push myself into the wall, the inside wall. So remember that. Hold for the outside, cancel for the inside.
Caution.
Actually, can you do this without cancels? I bet you could. I'm gonna try it.
Caution.
No cancel.
Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution.
Oh.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Stall warning.
Yeah, I don't think you can do it without cancels. So that's a fundamental skill you will need. Do. Okay. There you guys go. I mean, a lot of other fundamentals that I've talked about in other videos are always applicable. For example, the difference between your nose of your aircraft and the flight marker. The flight marker is that circle with 3 lines right there. Right in the middle of the screen, right there. But that's a big factor, is that thing. Your orientation, whether you're gaining or losing altitude, is a big factor. Your speed is a big factor. Your speed differential is a big factor.
Stall warning. Caution. Caution. Pull up.
They buff CFA?
Caution. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Caution. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
Go over
Caution.
here.
Pull up. Caution.
New.
Caution. Caution. Pull up.
Hmm. Am I? Okay, there it is. I just lost my orientation.
Caution. Pull up.
Whoa.
Caution. Pull
Whoa.
up.
So how to do this with the CFA? I'd say consistent speed is probably
Stall
the
warning.
biggest factor.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
People say it's bad at low speeds, but I don't know. I think it's okay.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Caution.
Well, that was
Stall
pretty
warning.
cool.
Caution. Caution.
Okay.
Pull up.
So the CFA can drift backwards, but can it do the flying backwards, the fancy one? Like I seen in all them videos. The answer I already know is yes, because I've done this, but...
Caution. Caution.
Uh-oh. Let's go around that.
Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Caution.
Let's go that way instead.
Pull up. Caution.
That was a
Pull
funny
up.
move.
Caution.
Oh yeah, the other way to fly backwards. So there's a third way to fly backwards. It's a lot like the first way, but... or the second way.
Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning.
Well, there you go. It can do the other way. It actually seemed easier than the Su-47 and the F-35, didn't it?
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Caution. Caution.
Stop.
Pull up.
Okay, so here's the other way. You could do this.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
That was a way that I used to try to fly backwards through the fleet destruction platform. See, it's not very controllable. That's why I gave up and
Stall warning.
went with the drift all the way around way. And I learned the proper way. Oh, I guess both ways are proper. The easy way would be this way.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
That's weird. You see what the flight marker's doing? It's going all nuts.
Stall warning.
There we go. One backwards CFA. The CFA is actually pretty pleasant, isn't it? Like, people say it's hard to use, but
Stall warning.
I don't think so. Like, there's some parts of it that are hard to use, but you can say that about any plane.
Caution. Caution. Pull up. Caution.
Let's see how well it drifts.
Caution. Pull up. Stall warning.
Yeah, you can fly backwards, bro. But let's see how well you can drift.
Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Pull up. Caution. Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning. Pull up. Caution. Pull up. Caution.
Pretty well, I guess. Okay, so now
Caution.
I guess you might be wondering, well, what if I don't fly in third person? You mean like one of these?
Caution. Pull up.
Ow. I guess this will be the final part of the tutorial before I upload it to the YouTube. This is for people who use cockpit view. We'll go with a favorite. So we're in a MiG-29 in cockpit view. Can't really see much, can we? So the same fundamentals apply. Speed, differential over flight marker, all that. The only problem is you gotta rely on faith. All faith, and I have to have like a mental picture of what you're around. That's a drift. Easy enough, right?
Stall warning. Caution. 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 Caution.
Okay. So now, can we drift backwards?
Caution.
Oh yeah, we can.
Caution.
See, I'm gonna try to keep my nose level, you see that? It's one of the bigger things to worry about when you're going back in cockpit view. Keeping your nose level. That kinda scared me too. Oh, that's why. There you go, 81 is a much better number than 82. I'm going to try to put my nose down a little bit because I noticed my flight marker was high. I'm going to raise my nose again so I'm seeing my altitude. Watch your gauges a little bit more when you're in cockpit. Some of it's easier because you can kind of tell where your nose is pointed a little bit easier. See what I mean? You got the gauge right there that you can look at, so that makes it easier too. Like the altitude gauge.
Caution. Pull up.
There's a lot of instrumentation that makes it easier. All this data. As long as you don't get data overload. You got a lot of numerical values that can provide you with the understanding of what's around you and what your plane is doing. The numbers are your new eyes. because I'm at 53, I'm going to roll a little bit. See, now I'm dropping altitude. Pull back. Hey, look at that. Raise my nose a little bit because I dropped altitude. See? Now I'm gaining altitude again.
Stall warning. Pull up.
Whatever.
Caution, caution. Pull up. Caution, pull up.
You could even do it this way.
Stall warning.
Like, for whatever reason you're too lazy to use yaw. I mean, that's one way you can easily do this. Just hold it like that.
Caution.
Hey, now.
Caution. Stall warning. Stall warning.
I say I'm about to get claustrophobia from that. Last one, I think. So now we've drifted flying backwards, and we've
Pull up.
drifted. Well, let's drift one more time for fun. I want to go through something small. And let's do it the sillier way.
Caution.
We want to go there, so we'll point the nose where we want to go. It literally can be that easy.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Caution. Stall warning. Stall warning.
Oh. Okay, one more time.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
I don't think cockpit view is really much harder, or harder if any, for this stuff. In some ways it's easier, in some ways it's not. You just gotta know what the strengths of it are and what the weaknesses of it are. I guess just like the planes and stuff.
Caution. 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 Pull up. Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Caution. Caution.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Caution. Pull up.
Okay, so as you can see, drifting is, well,
Caution.
definitely
Pull up.
possible in cockpit view. But what about flying backwards? Can I do the fancy flip over thing like everyone else? The answer is yes.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
I'm going too high. Way too high. I'm gonna crash into the bridge probably, or I'm gonna go over the bridge. Let's see. Nope, there's the bridge.
Stall warning.
That's the only hard part, is that you don't know where the fuck you're going. Oh, sorry. The heck.
Caution. Pull up. Caution.
Don't tell everybody I said a swear. I'll get canceled again.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
I was a little bit too low that time. I used to have a good rule of thumb for how far the altitude dropped
Caution. Pull up.
when you're doing this, but I forgot because I started driving trucks and stopped practicing.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Caution.
Okay, I'm at 10. I should be good here. Roll a little bit because I'm gaining altitude.
Stall warning. Caution. Stall warning. Caution.
Oh
Stall
no.
warning.
It's ain't pretty easy though. In some ways it's easier than doing it not in cockpit view.
Caution.
Let's see if we can do this real quick.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. Yeah. Let's get a better approach and try one more time. Or maybe 50 more times, who knows? Watch, everybody's gonna start doing stunts in cockpit view.
Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Pull up. Stall warning. Caution.
That was everything I wanted it to be too. I just got off the gas too much, I guess. Let's try it one more time.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
As you can see, there's this convenient heads-up display thing right there that they have. The darkened part of the cockpit at the top of it kind of makes for a good reference of, like, you know, if you're level or not. Of course, you always have the W.
Stall warning.
Too high.
Caution.
Not too high?
Caution. Caution.
Yeah! Okay, that didn't take you too long at all.
Caution. Pull up. Caution. 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 Pull up. Caution. Caution. Pull up.
So that was the tutorial on flying
Caution,
backwards
caution.
and doing drifts.
Caution.
Don't be afraid to try your own way, but, you know,
Caution. Pull up.
that's how I do it.
Caution.
Pay attention to
Pull up.
your speed, how far your flight marker is from the nose of your aircraft. That can be kind of hard when you're in cockpit, because, well, even in third person, because the camera goes all silly and you can't see. See, you can't see where the flight marker is right there. You just have to know where it is.
Caution.
And you can only get that knowledge through experience, so you don't have it yet. Well, just hang in there and keep trying.
Caution. Stall warning. Caution. Caution. Pull up. Caution. 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 Pull up. Caution.
So that's basically all I really have. I hope this helps you, and if it didn't, well, feel free to yell at me and be like, oh, this didn't help me. I'm still having XXX as a problem. If you record a video and show me what's happening, I can give you better advice than if you're just like, I can't do this. Because if you can't do this, well, what are you having trouble with? Are you over speeding? Are you under speeding? Do you just not know? If you don't know, take the video and show me. Be like, well, I don't know what's going on. Can you help me? And I will, probably. I mean, I might be a little late answering you because I do work as a truck driver, so I'm on the road a lot.
Pull up.
Eh,
Caution, caution, pull up.
but I'm really passionate about this stuff, so if you are like, hey, can you help me? I'll probably be like, whoa, this guy's cool.
Caution,
I'd answer you.
caution, pull up. Caution, pull up.
Get really excited whenever I see somebody's trying stuff like this. I'm like, yeah. It kind of, like, gets me motivated to go out and do it myself.
Caution, 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 pull up. Caution, caution. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Stall warning. Caution. Caution, caution. Pull up.
Just don't be afraid to fail.
Caution.
I think is pretty key. And don't be afraid to not succeed either. If it takes work, put in the work.
Caution. Pull up.
If you're not getting something, ask for help. It's okay, I'm not gonna... Well, I might laugh, like, oh, but I'm not gonna laugh, like, at you in your efforts. I just like to laugh in general.
Caution. Caution. Pull up. Caution. Caution. Stall warning.
Cockpit view is pretty addicting, I gotta say. It's kind of fun.
Caution. Caution. Stall warning.
It's kind of easy.
Caution. 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 Pull up. Stall warning.
Says that and dies. But anyways, yeah, so this is my tutorial. Again, if you still don't get it, don't be afraid to ask me for help. Maybe I'll make another tutorial. Maybe I'll just tell you personally, like, what you're doing wrong. If you show me a video of what you're doing, I can definitely tell you, well, maybe you didn't raise your nose, maybe you didn't lower your nose. Maybe you didn't watch your speed. If you give me your build, well, maybe the reason you're having problems controlling your speed is because of this. Or if you added a bunch of engine parts, well, time your inputs because you're over speeding or you're under speeding at certain times. It's just things like that, like maybe pull more angle here, or something like that. It's a lot of stuff that comes with experience, so if you're not getting it right away, don't worry. You just keep trying and it'll click. A lot of this stuff took me over a week to do. I mean, as you can see, I should have been able to do like everything in this first try, but it did take me a little bit of effort to make this video. I just wanted to show you guys that, you know, even when you're good at it, it can still be a struggle because it's difficult. But I'm probably gonna go uh, do some errands, download this video, and nap. So I'll see you guys later.